Ni hao and good afternoon. Welcome to the press conference the day before the Red Star Macaline Wanda Diamond League here in Egret Stadium in the city of Xiamen in China. Welcome to all present, both in the room and the live stream around the world. And let me first introduce the first group of athletes from far left, Olympic champion Hansle Pachment, 2 times world champion Danielle Wiliams, and Olympic champion Jasmine Camacho-Quinn. And yeah, we can have an applause in the room. Great athletes. Danielle will be the moderator behind me. My name is Rune Stenersen, I'm the meeting director. It's only 7.5 months since the first edition of the Xiamen stage of the Wanda Diamond League. Tomorrow, Xiamen is the season opener of the Wanda Diamond League. This is the 15th edition of the Wanda Diamond League, and this year it features 15 meetings. It's staged in 4 continents, in 13 countries. An athlete will compete for qualification points throughout the season to qualify for the 2 days final in Brussels, 13th and 14th of September. We have a star-packed competition in the 14 Diamond Leagues events here tomorrow. At this press conference, we will have 9 of them. The next group starts approximately 2:30. Christian Coleman, Fred Kerley, Marileidy, Paulino. And then the 3 last ones around 2:50. Feng, Mutaz, Barshim, and Mondo, Duplantis. But let's hear from the athletes. So take it away, Katal.
Thank you, Rune. So we'll begin with Jasmine, closest to us. You can grab a mic there. I think right at the bottom there it should be on. We're off. You opened your season last week or earlier this month with a 12:69, I think. In terms of how things have gone, I guess, in recent months, could you tell us where your fitness is at, and I guess what you're hoping for here tomorrow night?
Honestly, I mean, tomorrow I'll see where my fitness is at. I mean, the other week when I opened up, it was just to kind of see where I was, but I don't know. I just wasn't trying to compare it to the previous years of how I opened up. I have time, and I'm not going to sit here and try to be in, I guess, like tip-top shape so early, because anything can happen. Anything can happen. So, you know, I'm just taking it day by day, month by month, and going from there.
And it is a field that's worthy of an Olympic final tomorrow. What's going to be the goal for you going out there?
Honestly, I mean, at this point, I'm used to it. Like, we always racing each other. So, there's no pressure at all. We always see each other. I mean, anything could change with hurdles. So, how tomorrow goes, it could be completely different in the Diamond League a week from tomorrow. So, I mean, like I said, for me, I'm just focused on myself and do what I have to do. And the biggest goal is Olympics. So, you know, every race I'm going to just use as preparation for that.
Cool. And you've had a new training partner this year with Sirena Samba Mayela. How's it been having her? Because I guess especially over the 60 hurdles, she's a flyer, having her to train with day by day.
Well, I mean, I've literally had different training partners every year. I mean, it's good vibes, good energy. And yeah, I mean, I don't know exactly what to say because I've kind of had somebody new every single year. So, you know, we just, I don't know how to explain it. It's just, it is what it is.
Explained it very well. Danielle, you started your season just last week with a couple of 12.5 clockings. If I'm right, that's a little bit quicker than you opened with last year at the same meet. How do you think that, I guess, sets you up for what might be to come in the months ahead?
I don't think it has any bearing on the months to come. It was just one race, just getting the rust off. It's April, and we're just looking forward to just competing and seeing where we are against this wonderful group of fast female hurdlers. Every race, we try to work on something different. So that's just the mindset going in.
What is it about the female hurdlers? You're not afraid to dodge each other. You get on the line week by week.
I wonder the same thing. I don't know. I mean, competition is good. Our rivalries are good. It forces us to show up every time on our A game, and it's good for us to race each other week in, week out, every race, and just to see where we line up and where we finish. And then next time we go, it might be something different, but we look forward to it.
And what's going to be the goal tomorrow night?
Run as fast as I can.
Nice and simple, I like it. In Budapest, despite being a former world champion, not that many people were picking you to win gold that day. Did you kind of relish that, and do you relish that coming in, I guess, as an underdog and taking people by surprise, perhaps?
Oh, I love being the underdog. I don't like being the center of attention, and so if I could just squeak by and nobody sees me, I'm good with that.
You need to stop winning world titles then. Cool. Well, best of luck tomorrow evening. Hansle, you have good memories of this stadium. I think you ran.
Testing.
There you go. You ran very well last year. What were your memories of Xiamen? Because you turned the tables on Grant.
Yeah, that was an awesome race. It was very warm, which is always good for sprinting. I had a lot of fun, and the crowd was really, hyping us up. So looking forward to making this sitting also a very good one.
And it's been 7 months since we last saw you race. That was a brilliant one, 12:93 to win the Diamond League final. How has everything been in the time since? How's training been going?
Slow, I would say. Slow development, but of course the main aim this year is the Olympics, and everybody's aiming for that. For me right now, the national trial is the main aim. So this is definitely a stepping stone towards that, and I want to make sure that I'll learn as much as I can from this going forward.
And going into a race like tomorrow night, is it kind of like, are you going in a bit blind? Do you kind of have an idea of what you should be running, or do you have a specific goal?
I always set goals, but you never know. It's gonna be the first race. It's a big race. I have no idea where I'm at now, but obviously it's a test, so I want to see, put my best foot forward and see where I'm at right now.
And as a Puma athlete, you were one of those who got to try on the Jamaican kit recently. Did that get the excitement and the adrenaline going as the countdown to Paris begins to actually get to wear that kit in front of your home crowd?
Definitely. It's always excitement in Jamaica, and what better place to do it than at, revealing the gear at the national, the champs, the boys and girls champs. That's where most of us got our start. Of course, it was a lot of excitement, and really looking forward to putting on that gear again later this year.
Brilliant. Well, I have more questions, but I want to give everyone else an opportunity to ask some if they wish to. So if anyone out there has a question, if you just throw up your hand, we will come find you with the microphone. Second row there. Does someone have a microphone? I can give you mine if not. I think there is someone who'll come find you. And if you want to just start by saying who you are and which outlet you're with.
A question for the Hansle. I think you have good memories in Xiamen last year because you break the 13 barriers since 2014, and you set the personal best in Eugene. So we want to know how you achieve that close to the 34 years old.
Very good question. Well, I suppose good technique. We know when it comes on to hurdles, if you don't have good technique, then you're not really running fast. And I've been doing quite a bit of work on improving my technique over the years. I think with age, I guess I'm a little bit more mature, so less time wasting, trying to take better care of myself, and trying to give better performances each time.
Thank you so much.
Anyone else? Okay. Don't see anyone else with a hand up. I'll ask a few more then. Oh, we do have one there in the 4th row.
One question for Jasmine. Yeah, because you are the Olympic champion. Yeah, what do you think? Who will compete with you for the medal in the World Diamond League in Xiamen?
I think tomorrow. Who are the big contenders tomorrow night? I think.
Oh, okay. Everybody. We you never know in our field, like, and you don't know what to expect from anyone. So I don't sleep on nobody at all. I can't specifically just say a name though. So our field is stacked. So I mean, we all just have to go out there and give it our all and take it from there.
Okay, thank you.
Anyone else? Tony.
Question for Jasmine. Yeah, we are teammates in US.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, so we mentioned that 12 seconds. Maybe in the near future we can break it. Maybe will be you or Danielle or anybody else. Who will be the first woman to break 12 seconds? You think?
All right, Tony. I can't tell you who will be the first, honestly. If it happens, it happens. But I think the way hurdles is going, it can happen soon. I could definitely see it with our group. Yeah, but I can't say. Hopefully, me. But I mean, you know, it's hurdles is yeah. If it happens, it happens. But it's need to get to 12-1 and then 12-0 first, and then we'll see.
Thank you, Jasmine.
Any further questions? We have a few more minutes, so I'll just add in. If anyone wants to ask one, just throw up the hand. Hansle, you've done something very difficult, which is beating Grant Holloway on the biggest stage. You've done it 3 times. One of them was here in Xiamen. When it comes to putting a race together to beat an athlete like that, what is the key?
Stay close. Yeah, I think, I've had lots of slow starts over the years, and I've been working tirelessly on trying to improve my start. You know, I feel once I'm close enough to the first hurdle, then I have a real fighting chance, you know, to get to the line. You know, he's a very powerful athlete. He gets out really well. But I think, you know, once you can put together a clinical race, it's possible to beat anybody, actually. Hurdles, it's a very funny kind of event. You know, anybody can come out on top. You make one mistake and you're all the way to the back. So it takes a very good race to get on top. Yeah.
Thank you. Danielle, the Jamaican hurdling team is a hard one to make. Is it the kind of case, as you look towards the summer months, whereby you almost have to treat that national championships like the Olympics in itself?
Yes. Over the years, we haven't really focused on the national championships per se, but definitely this year, we're definitely keeping it in our horizon as basically the Olympic finals, because we don't want to overlook it and not zone in on it and then not do too well there. And so this year, we're definitely keeping it at the forefront of our mind, because we know that Olympic year, everybody comes out. And so we want to be ready for whatever happens.
And Jasmine, it being Olympic year, I guess it's a good time to throw back to 2021. You obviously had the choice to represent the US or Puerto Rico. You chose Puerto Rico. And from what I hear, about half the country came out to welcome you back after that Olympic gold. Can you just take us through what it was like, what kind of impact your victory had, and what you saw when you got back home?
I mean, so in 2016, I got to see, you know, how it is, because we had our first gold medalist in tennis. So now that, you know, coming back for my second Olympics. But this time I brought the gold medal back. I mean, that day there, I landed in Puerto Rico, and I didn't get back probably till like 7 p.m. I landed in the morning. So I was out like all day doing things, and just to be like celebrated and loved. My name was all on like billboards. A lot of shirts and stuff was made because my lashes. So, and the flower. So, I mean, honestly, it meant a lot. You know, I made the decision in 2016, but I was still young at the time. I was just excited because anybody that, you know, does come from not even just a Puerto Rican background, but, you know, even, you know, like anybody that has that type of background, they're going to take pride in their culture. And when I made that decision in 2016, like I was excited, and never wanted to change or anything. It was just look like this is a part of me and who I am, and just being able to go out there and represent. Puerto Rico isn't really out there much in track and field, so just to have, you know, flag race 3 years in a row, and hopefully this year is raised again. It means a lot. So.
And in the women's hurdles, I guess a question to you and Danielle. I think there was 300s between the three medalists last year in Budapest. Does it require something pretty much close to perfection to get that gold?
Yeah, I have a terrible start. Like, honestly, I mean, Olympic year, I did great with my start. Where was we at? Oregon, I forgot. 2022, I was in the back, and then the same thing happened again last year. And luckily, like, I have a very strong finish with hurdles. So, I mean, .01, it does not feel good to lose by. I'd rather .01 than us running the same time and it come out. But the same thing happened to me. In Oregon, me and Britt. We ran the same time, but it came down to that, you know? Yeah. Perfect. I mean, it don't even have to be perfect, but I think some things just, if I keep starting the way I'm starting, the finish will keep ending up the same way. So.
We need you to keep starting like how you start. Well, I definitely think that you have to be as close to perfect as possible when we're racing these girls, because if you're just not on point today, you're going to be in the back. And so I show up knowing very much that if I am not on my game today, it's not going to happen.
Thank you very much. Any further questions before we wrap up? We have one on the third row. The mic is on the way.
Okay, here is a question for Hansle. And you've revealed that maybe the Olympic in Paris will be your last Olympic Games. And what does this Diamond League right now in Xiamen means for you, for your preparation for the Olympics in this summer?
Well, as I said before, it's a stepping stone towards that, you know, to test myself, to see where I'm at. It's pretty early. I think this is probably the earliest I'm opening, if I remember correctly. But yeah, I'm looking forward to it. You know, I'm not as young as I used to be, even though I still feel young, but and I look young, yeah. But yeah, I want to make this Olympics memorable, so I want to give it everything I've got.
Anyone for a final question? We're all good? Oh, we've one more. Apologies.
Hey, you guys are both the top level athletes around the world, and sorry, you guys are both top level athletes throughout the world, and we got New Xiang, you know, and nowadays the Asian athletes or the Chinese athletes, both female and males athletes, is making their efforts to improve and approach the top level, like you. And so, what improvement do you think they need to make to have a better improvement for their hurdling skills or speed? That's a question.
I think it's for anybody, but
Yeah,
perhaps
anybody.
Jasmine, you've trained with a Chinese hurdler, right? Might be a good person to step up and answer.
I mean,
Yeah, I guess what can they do to kind of get up to your level, I guess is the question.
okay. Dang.
I guess go and train him with you is a good start.
It's a hard question.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, no, he just means in general among Chinese athletes to get up to the standard you guys are at.
Oh, I mean, I guess, I don't know. I feel like when you have a good coach, a coach that believes in you, then things could change from there. I don't know how to answer that question. To be honest.
About Hansle.
Well, as I do agree with that. You know, good coach. That's the first thing. Of course, lots of hard work and dedication. You know, you can't be lazy if you want to get to the top. In addition to that, you have to make sure you take care of yourself. You know, lots of good resting, good food, and yeah.
Okay.
It's good to be tall as well, long legs if you plan to hurdle. That also helps. So, yeah.
What about Danielle?
What they said. Yeah, I mean, a good coach, hard work, be disciplined, then you're on the right path.
Awesome. So we will have to wrap it up there. A big thanks to Jasmine, to Danielle, to Hansle. Very best of luck tomorrow evening and for the rest of the season. I know you've got to get to training, so we'll let you get out of here. And we will have the 100 meter sprinters and Marileidy Paulino over 400 will be up in just a few minutes' time. 19 World 100 meter champion, the 60 meter indoor world record holder, and a man who recently just won the world indoor title in Glasgow. In the middle, Fred Kerley, the 2022 World 100 meter champion. He won Olympic silver in Tokyo, and he's the joint 6th fastest man in history, as is Christian Coleman. Both of them have run 9:76. And on the end, from the Dominican Republic, Marileidy Paulino. She is the world 400 meter champion, the Olympic silver medalist in Tokyo, and the 2022 world silver medalist. Her PB is 48:76 for 400 meters. So I guess we'll start closest to me here. Christian, you've good memories of this stadium. You came here last year after Budapest and ran a world lead of 9:83. How was that experience last year?
Last year was incredible because I was coming off the World Championships where I didn't perform exactly how I wanted to. So I was kind of looking at this as an opportunity to kind of clean some things up and have some success again, because I knew the season wasn't over. And so it was a great meet, a great opportunity. I was able to run like the joint world leading time, and it gave me a lot of confidence going into the Diamond League final. So hopefully I can replicate that sort of kind of performance and that sort of energy and bring it into this year to start off the year this time.
And it was another great indoor season, 6:41 to win that world title in Glasgow. That was about 6-7 weeks ago now. How has everything been going since?
It's been going pretty good. Honestly, it was just a part of the plan, but it was like we weren't necessarily trying to taper off to be at my absolute best indoors. We were still just kind of training through it, and then just kind of hit a few like speed workouts to be prepared for it. And so honestly, I felt good about winning, but I just knew I had a lot more in the tank if we were to, kind of taper off to kind of specialize indoors, but that wasn't really the plan. So after that, we kind of went back into a little bit of a training block where, we lifting weights a little heavy, doing some longer workouts. And so now I feel like my legs are starting to finally come off of that and feel pretty good. And so hopefully I can start the year off on a good note, have a good performance here. So it's been a good 6-7 weeks, like you said.
What's a long workout for one of the fastest men in the world?
I mean, anything over 200 meters for me is long. So 250s, 300s is what I would consider like a long workout for me.
Good stuff. Fred, you made a coaching change this year, moved out to California under Quincy Watts. I guess could you tell us the origins of that move and how things have been working? What's changed? What stayed the same?
I feel like, can you hear me? Yeah. I feel like the coaching move was a good one from decision on to the Olympic year. Not too many people changed during the Olympic year. So, but I know I got to stay grounded and listen to what my coaches and stuff got to say to elevate what I'm trying to do.
And how have things gone for you through the winter, through the spring, in terms of training and what you've been doing? And
the stuff actually been lovely, but it's hard, but it's been lovely actually in the weight room now. So I'm actually in the bulking phase myself in the gym and just trying to turn over the speed in the gym to the track.
And I guess it is games, which is about 5 months ago now. Can you tell us how everything has gone for you in the past 5 months, how training is coming into the season?
Bueno, mi entrenamiento han sido muy fuerte. Me he esforzado para poder llegar a los Juegos Olímpicos en óptimas condiciones y poder dar un buen resultado para mi país y para mí misma.
She said that the last 5 months she pushed very hard in order to make sure to get to the Olympics at the best of its form and to have a great performance for herself and for her country.
Thank you. And tomorrow night, you won here last year in 49:36. What is your goal tomorrow night?
Bueno, mi objetivo para mañana es poder abrir una buena temporada con un buen tiempo y creo que puedo hacer, no 48, pero podría llegar a ser 49 en mi primera carrera, que sería excelente.
My goal for tomorrow night is to have a good opening of my season. It's the opening of my season. I don't know if I can do 48, that would be nice, but I will be happy with a good 49 would be a good sign for me.
Thank you. And you won gold last year in Budapest with 48:76. The level in the women's 400 is crazy. We've got maybe Sydney McLaughlin Lavroni running. We've got Shawnee Miller-Weibo coming back. What time do you think it will require to win gold in Paris?
Bueno, yo diría que es el momento donde Dios me dará la bendición este año. Siempre he apostado a hacer el récord del mundo porque nada es imposible para el que cree en Dios. Y creo que me llegará la oportunidad. Y si este año estaré muy feliz.
She thinks that this could be the year that God blessed her. And if she's right, this is the year in which she might really touch make the world record, and she hopes that God is with her for that.
Wow. Does she believe that's possible this year?
Si Dios lo permite, sí.
If God allows it, yes.
Wish you the best of luck. It's now your chance to ask questions. If anyone has a question for some of the fastest men and women in the world, please put up your hand. We have one down the back in the blue shirt.
This question is for both athletes, both three athletes. Yeah. So I want to ask, what's the difference between indoors and outdoors to you? Because the weather these days, like yesterday was hot and today is much cooler. So I want to know the difference between indoor and outdoors. Yeah.
Well, for me, it's just, you look at it as two different seasons. I think that it's a lot of different elements that are obvious, like you don't have to deal with the weather indoors, and so you just kind of get a true estimate of like what the times are. Coming into outdoors, you know, you got to deal with the wind, the elements, all the factors, but you know, you can't really pay too much mind to that because everybody has to deal with the same factors as you do. But for me, I just, even in the 60, I try to set my race up the same way that I would do the 100. So I try not to put too much emphasis on like trying to make it a different race or anything like that. I just try to use it as just getting reps in to be better at the 100. And so I set the 60 up the same way that I would do the 200, the same way I would do the 100, the same way I would do the 200. I think it's just a different time of the year. Like in the winter, especially for us sprinters, like, you know, we like it really hot. So in the wintertime, indoors, it's just like, it's cold outside. So it's fairly difficult to run like, you know, super fast. So I just use it as like, you know, getting ready and getting reps in. But then when the outdoor season comes, obviously, you know, you can get a little bit more sun, better weather, you get some wind behind you, and things just kind of speed up. So it's a lot of differences, but I just kind of use it as a training phase to just kind of prepare us in the outdoors.
Okay. Thank you.
I think Fred said Christian covered the answer. Marileidy, did you want to weigh in on that one?
Bueno, no podría definir una diferencia ya que compito poco bajo techo y siempre mi entrenador tiene miedo de que yo pueda competir al bajo techo porque él dice que es una pista muy, o sea, muy peligrosa, ya sea para mí porque no sé correrla.
Well, she said that she doesn't have much experience on racing, competing on indoor because she hasn't done much. Also, she has reservation because for her, it's a different type of track, and for her style, it can be dangerous, not ideal in a way.
Thank you very much. Any further questions? Yeah, on the front here.
Question for Coleman and Kerley. And Justin Gatlin said, you guys with Knighton and Noah Lyers will break Jamaicans 4x100 meters relay world record. So it's gonna happen this year. And what's the most part for a relay team to break that record?
Yeah, I think that just goes to show the level of talent that we have in America. I think everyone's goal, first of all, is just to make the team. Like, But whoever makes that team obviously is going to be well capable of getting on that relay pool and doing something special. I think the thing for Americans has always been just making sure that we have enough time to practice to get to stick around the track. Other countries like kind of have like their set 4 or 5 guys who they know is going to be on the team. And so for us, you know, we find out a few weeks before the actual game starts. And so we put so much emphasis on just actually making it and trying to get into that, you know, individual event that we don't have as much time to work together. We don't have as much time to practice. But I think that, you know, some of the guys, me, Fred, Noah, we've been on teams kind of consistently and have built up a little bit of a rapport. And so, you know, I think we can be kind of counted on as some of the guys that should be favored of going there and making the team. And I don't know, it's like even looking back at the World Championship race last year, I think we just had a lot of things we can clean up, but we still ran a pretty fast time, and obviously we won. That was the goal. But I think if we put it all together and at the right time, in the right moment, I think the world record is definitely within our reach.
Very well said once again. We have had a question come in from around the world. People can submit their questions, and the question is for Christian. It's from Antoine Bourlon of L'Equipe. He said, I'd like you to tell us a little about the charisma and hype around Sha'Carri Richardson, and this is a tricky one to answer. What do you think she still needs to improve on the track?
Did you say the Griezmann hype? Is that what you said? Can you repeat
the charisma and hype, I guess, she brings to the sport?
Yeah. I mean, she's special, and I think she's somebody who's at the forefront of just woman empowerment and women's sports, just like taking it to a whole different level. Like, because I think a lot of people are just fans of her, just not even just because, you know, men, women, it's just like she's a beast, like, you know. So just within her own right. And she's a special talent, and I think that she's somebody who's going to continue to propel the sport forward and be able to take it to new heights. And I'm a fan, too, so I'm excited to watch. Like, she's somebody that I pull inspiration from, you know, to be able to, you know, see, like, everything that she's going through in her career, like, what she's doing now. Like, it's really special. So I'm inspired by it, and she's going to continue to be at the forefront and pushing the sport forward for sure.
And I have a follow-up, I guess, on that point of taking the sport to new heights, to Fred and to you. I know we have this Netflix documentary coming up. I know there's agreements. Maybe you're not allowed to talk whether you're involved or not. But so it's a very generic question to both of you. But I guess what window or what new lesson do you think fans are going to learn about the world of 100-meter sprinting when they sit down to watch that in the summer?
I think they don't understand the level that it takes to be at the top of our game. They think we just go run fast and leave it like that, but it takes a lot of training and a lot of levels from the gym to the coaches to have the right team around you to understand just how we do the sport. It's a totally different ball game.
And Christian?
I guess the question was just about like the Netflix documentary. I think it's a good thing. I think it's going to expose track and field to a whole different audience. And obviously just, you know, getting behind the scenes footage, I think will just give a new audience just a different level of perspective and, you know, just allow track athletes to just find like a different level of respect to a broader audience too, because like Fred said, like we put a lot of work into this, like blood, sweat, and tears, and I don't think people realize like how much work actually goes into it to make it to that line. And it's a year-round sport too. But at the same time, it's like when we actually get out there, it's like it looks like a superhero type effort, but it's like we just still like regular human beings, like live regular lives. Like, so I think the documentary will expose all of that, and I think it's a good deal because obviously Netflix is a big platform.
Thank you. Any further questions for our athletes? Okay, I'll just throw in another quick one because you have a couple more minutes. Again, to Fred and to Christian, the US 100-meter team is incredibly difficult to make. Is it the case that you almost have to treat those trials like an Olympic final?
Definitely.
Yeah, 100%. I think that's what makes it so special to be on the American team is the fact that like it's so hard to make it. And so for us, it's like I can't even think past June right now. Like it's so focused on just being at our absolute best when we need to be at the trials. Because if you're not at your best there, then the season's all for naught, really.
And are both you guys planning to double up in the 2? Or is it all in on the 1?
That's the plan for me. The 100 and the 200. I think it bodes well for me because the 100 is before the 200, and obviously like that's my specialty. And so afterwards, it's just kind of like focusing in on the 200 as well. But the plan is to try to make the team in the both.
I'm doing the 1, 2, and 4.
Really?
Nah, I'm just playing. Nah, the plan is the 1 and 2 also.
Will we ever see Fred Kerley run a 4 again?
I keep the main thing. The main thing right now is the 100 meters.
Awesome. A question for Marileidy. Sorry to interrupt there. Having, I guess, that Olympic medal in Tokyo, I'm sure that made a big impact back home in a small country like the Dominican Republic. What was the reaction back home, and did it very much fuel your desire to perhaps go one better in Paris?
Bueno, increíblemente no sabía que tenía un pueblo que me aclamaba, me amaba, y lo importante es que los niños que están subiendo hoy en día se reflejan en mí. Después de yo haber ganado la medalla olímpica, muchos niños quieren ser igual que yo, y también personas adultas, y me dicen Marileidy, cada vez que me ven siento personas que se les salen las lágrimas delante de mí. Es increíble, de verdad.
She was absolutely shocked by finding out there is a huge country, a huge population, people that supported her, and now her concern is for the kids that are growing up to see in her some role model that they can in the future maybe hope to imitate. And for her it's really touching when people on the street they come close and sometimes crying with tears, still thinking about that event. That's the main thing. And by the way, before she told me that there's a documentary made in the Dominican Republic on her. So just to make sure that it's not only in Netflix.
Excellent. When does that come out? Cool. We look forward to it. And I guess a question for all three before we finish up. I don't see anyone else want to ask a question before we conclude. Okay, I'll plow on with one final question. I guess your job is the same every year to run as fast as you can, but does Olympic year feel any different in terms of that spotlight, and does that feed into your preparations at all?
I would say yes and no. It feels a little different just because you know the magnitude of it. Like I feel like it would be unrealistic not to acknowledge the fact that it's just like this is a once in a lifetime opportunity that not people get the opportunity to even experience or be in your prime or like actually have a realistic chance of making it to the Olympics. But as far as the process is like this, we do this every year, you know what I'm saying? So it's really no different. So you just try not to pay too much attention to like the outside factors and the outside pressure. It's just kind of like, just like Fred said, keep the main thing, focus on what's right in front of me one day at a time. But that's the same process every year. It's just from the outside, you know, it's just a bigger opportunity.
And Marileidy?
Bueno, yo siempre soy una persona de desafío y más cuando se trata de números, y creo que este año sí hay un gran desafío. Y creo que este es mi año, lo siento, conforme a la voluntad de Dios, sé que va a ser así. Y nada, a correr como siempre.
Well, she said that she's a person of challenges. She likes challenges, and she cannot deny that this year for her is the top of the challenge. And as she feels, with helps God, that can be her here. So that's her goal.
Excellent. And if I could add one more question for Fred. You visited a local school yesterday and put some of the students through their paces, helping them out with technical things in the blocks. How was that experience? Because I was there and the kids were going absolutely crazy for you.
It was actually lovely. I love stuff like that. So it actually get me out my element too, because the kids say they were shy, I'm definitely shy when it comes to stuff like that. But it actually was a fun and lovely experience.
And I know one of the questions the kids asked you was about what's the key to success, and you mentioned discipline. What sort of message do you tend to pass on to young athletes when they ask you things like that?
Well, discipline come with living right, eating right, doing the small things right. So discipline with everything you do of that day.
Excellent. So I think that will conclude, unless we have anyone for one final question. I'm sure our next group are outside. And with that, we'll wrap it up. So to Christian, to Fred, to Marileidy, many thanks. Muchas gracias. Best of luck tomorrow night and for the season ahead. Thank you. left is Mondo Duplantis, a man I'm sure who needs little introduction, but I'll give him a quick one anyway. He's the 2-time world indoor champion, the 2-time world outdoor champion, and of course the reigning Olympic champion and world record holder in the men's pole vault. 6:23 he cleared in Oregon last year. In the middle is Mutaz Essa Barshim from Qatar, the 3-time world champion outdoors, the 2-time Olympic silver medalist, and of course the Olympic champion. Do we call you the joint Olympic champion? Straight up Olympic champion. Reigning from Tokyo and the Asian record holder with a clearance of 2:43. And on the right from China, she was a star here last year in Xiamen. Feng Bin, the world bronze medalist last year in the discus throw, the world champion in 2022, the reigning Asian Games champion, and she threw her PB of 69 meters, 12 centimeters to win the world title in 2022. So we will start with the man closest to me, Mr. Mondo Duplantis. The last time we saw you compete, it was in Glasgow about 7 weeks ago. You cleared 6:05 there to win the title. How's everything been going since?
Yeah, I mean, I have no complaints, really. I think everything's been on schedule as it should be. And it was, yeah, kind of a short indoor season for me as far as for pole vaulter standards. But short and sweet, was able to get the job done when I guess it most counted in Glasgow there. But yeah, really looking forward to opening up the outdoor season and getting this kind of Olympic campaign year started in that kind of way. So no, I feel really good.
Do you take a break after the indoor season, or is it just straight on into training for the outdoors?
Ish both. Not so much of a break. I mean, just a few days, I guess, of just kind of relaxing and just chilling out. But then after that, it's kind of pretty much straight back into it. So no, but it's been a good training cycle since World Indoors, and so feeling good.
And what's going to be the goal tomorrow evening? Because obviously it's very early, and I'm sure it's a little bit hard to predict how things go.
Yeah, I mean, I guess it is a little bit hard to predict, but I guess that's kind of the fun in it. There's always some different juices that kind of rumble in the stomach when it's a season opener, and so I'm very excited about that. I like that kind of feeling of the unknown. So I don't really put a limit on myself. I think that anything is possible, and you know, the stadium looks amazing. The setup looks super nice. So I think it's just basically up to us, and hopefully with some good conditions to go out there and jump high. So yeah, I mean, I think that I have high bars in me. I just have to go out there and just kind of do it.
Am I right in thinking this is your first competition in China, or have you been?
No, it's my first competition in China. First time being in China. So that's super cool in itself. And you know, like I said, the stadium looks unreal. So I'm excited to get it going.
Excellent. We wish you the best of luck. Mutaz, again, it's been about 6 months since we last saw you compete. It was when winning the Asian Games title. How have the last 6 months been for you?
Yes. Well, as you just said, you know, my last competition was the Asian Games here in China. It was amazing atmosphere, great competition. I really loved it, and I'm really happy to be back in China competing again. Very important season, Olympic season. The last 6 months was more of a relaxing, to be honest, more recovery. I had plans to compete indoors, but then I had some issues, so we decided not to risk it or anything like that. But now I'm feeling healthy again, everything is good. I feel like training is going good, so I'm happy where I am at the moment. But as you know, it's my first meet of the year, and I just want to go out there and see what can I bring. I'm excited to compete.
Is there a certain bar that you'd be happy with walking away from here?
Well, it's still April, so I don't know. I'm gonna be very happy for the win, and I don't know. I just want to go. I want to push myself, to be honest. I want to jump high, but how high I don't know. So I will go tomorrow and see. But I wanna put on a good show.
And obviously, Paris will be your 4th Olympics. Yeah. You know, does Olympic year feel a little different at all, or is it just same process?
Yeah, my 4th Olympics. Wow, it's crazy. Definitely feel different. You know, for us, I guess most athletes and me personally, for me, Olympic was a dream. You know, I remember watching the Olympics on TV, and I wanted to be there so bad. I'm like, one day I'm gonna be there. And here I am, you know, been to 3 Olympics, 2 silver, 1 gold, and going to my 4th. So, and still, you get that tingle, you know, you feel like, oh, it's an Olympic year. So it's definitely feel different. and I just want to make sure that I'm going to be prepared, I'm going to be ready to fight and hopefully, be the podium.
Excellent. And to Feng, down the end. One of the highlights of the competition here last year was you winning the discus with that last throw. The crowd went crazy. Can you just tell us what that experience was like to win it in front of your home crowd?
当时可能也是非常开心吧，毕竟是在中国也可以投出算那个当时的成绩也算是我的历史第3个好成绩，也是第2次投出67米，非常开心吧，当时心情非常的激动。
Very happy, very excited. This is my home ground competition here, and that is my 3rd best result, and also my 2nd time to beyond 67 meters. So I'm so happy about that. Yeah.
Excellent. And 2023 brought you a bronze medal in Budapest, and of course the Asian Games title. So what's the goal for 2024?
2024年可能还是想去冲击一下奥运会嘛，想去冲击奥运会，想在奥运会上冲一下金牌，想有一个新的突破。
Okay, so definitely Paris Olympics, and I want to fight for the gold in Paris. And I want to have a breakthrough in Olympics.
Excellent. And you faced the world's best all over the world, but does it feel different taking on a field of this caliber to do it in your home country with the home support?
害怕倒是不至于，反而会让我非常高兴。应该说来的都应该是世锦赛、奥运会的前几名的运动员，可以让我提前一下去预演一下今年奥运会决赛的场景。
Okay, I'm not afraid. I'm very happy, excited. They are top athletes here, so it can make me feel that this is a rehearsal for Paris final.
Excellent. Well, it's now time to open the floor. So anyone who has questions, I see one man on the right there.
Questions from Xinhua to Feng Bin. I'm going to do the bilingual questions. And just a week ago, Yami Price from Cuba had a stunning finish over 73 meters. And for the Diamond League here in Xiamen, and we have a powerful lineup in disc throw. And do you think it's kind of the factors kind of leave you and too early pressures while preparing for the Paris Olympics? 就是1周之前，古巴名将佩雷斯投出了73米，然后包括这次钻石田联在厦门的比赛，也是集齐了16年之后基本上大部分的世界冠军。对你来说，这个是不是属于一个在奥运会准备之前一个过早的一个压力的提升呢？
压力肯定是有的，但是就像刚才说的，它反而让我非常兴奋，我非常去享受与那个国际高水平运动员的对碰，它也可以非常好的去进一步去提升我的竞技能力和我的比赛成绩。
And my second question would be, so last year in the same stadium, and there were 30,000 fans standing on the stand. And what vibes are you expecting for this year's competition? And for you, are you this kind of athlete that a packed stadium can fuel up your energy? 去年的钻石田联厦门站有很多的观众，然后你对今年有什么期待？然后你是一个坐满了体育场这种很热烈的气氛，能给你一个加油鼓劲儿的这种运动员吗？
是属于那种比较享受现场气氛的那种，也是希望厦门这场比赛可以说是今年开年的第1场世界比赛，我也是希望在厦门这场比赛当中去投出一个较为好的成绩，给今年的整体的比赛奠定一个较为好的基础。
谢谢冯斌。
So do I need to translate in English?
Yeah, I think so. That'd be helpful.
Okay. 2 questions. Firstly is, Indeed, Paris 73.09 meters is a pressure for me. Yeah, but I'm really enjoy the competition, the PK with the top athletes. So it makes me much excited and feel energy. This is the first question. The second question, I really like the crowded. I'm enjoy the environment here, just like last year. I want to make this competition as a good fundamental for my whole season.
Excellent. Any further questions from the floor? Yep. Man behind the cameras.
Hello, Barshim. I have a question for you. And obviously, you have made such an excellent career until now, and you have a good memories last October in Hangzhou Asian Games. But you haven't participated in any competition since then. So, are you in your best form now?
Yeah, I definitely enjoyed Hangzhou last season. It was really amazing. It was packed. The crowd was really supportive, and I love everything from the organizing of the competition to everything. It was really top. Yeah, since then, as I said before, like, you know, I've been having my breaks. I took like off-season breaks with my family, some off time, and then started training again. I didn't do the indoors because I had some few injuries, minor injuries, but I overcome everything. So yeah, I feel good. I'm healthy, and I think my form is good. And when I say good, I can jump. You know.
Yeah. Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you. Don't see any immediate hands, so I'll ask a question that came in. Oh, the lady here.
Okay, another question for Mondo, and nice to meet you. And I want to ask you that: do you set any specific goal for tomorrow's competition? And also, how do you keep the hunger after breaking so many world records and winning so many gold medals? Thanks.
Yeah, I mean, I think that since it's always a bit unpredictable, I guess, in a way when it's your season opener. But you know, I know that I'm in good shape and then I'm able to jump high. But you know, I guess it's a little bit easier said than done. It's a little bit more difficult as far as technically having that feeling and timing on the runway when you actually are in the competition setting. But no, I feel good. The first objective is always going to be to win and go out and get my first time in league win. Would like to jump over 6 meters because I think that's definitely what I should be doing. Okay. And I'm in that type of shape and would like to go even higher than that. So yeah, that would be a nice day for me. I would say tomorrow to open up the season, and yeah, so that's that.
Okay, thanks.
Excellent. Man here in the black.
这个问题想问冯斌，就是刚刚也说到了，钻石联赛是我们一个很好和那个国际高手去交流的一个机会嘛。那么就是我们中国今年也是比较少有能连续举办2场钻石联赛，觉得对于国内运动员来讲，参加这样的高水平的赛事的意义在哪里呢？
我觉得这对于我们所有的中国运动员来说都是一个比较好的机会，可以让我们可以近距离的跟这些世界的高手同台竞技。它非常容易，也非常好的，可以非常好的去激发我们的一个竞技状态和说不定在比赛当中会投出一个最好成绩啊这种感觉。所以说我感觉这种国际交流是非常好的吧，非常积极、非常好的一件事情。
Okay, question is international competition in China. What's the meaning for Chinese athletes? And she said that it's a very good chance for Chinese athletes to compete with the top athletes, zero distance with them, and top athletes may encourage our ability and passion, and maybe we can create a PB during the competition, high-level competition. So it's a good chance for us. Yeah.
Thank you very much. If I could just jump in with a couple of questions that came in through our remote mix zone from around the world for Mondo and Mutaz. To Mondo, from Antoine Bourlon of L'Equipe, he's asked, 2 big track stars, you and Sha'Carri Richardson both went to LSU.
And you kind of, iron sharpens iron kind of mentality. And so whenever you're at LSU and you're at a program like that, the best is expected out of you, and you're expected to be competing at a super high level. So yeah, it's super cool to, I guess, to see where Sha'Carri and I are now, considering that feels like it was just yesterday that we were both in college together at LSU. But I mean, I guess that's kind of what you expect out of LSU in a way.
What did you think of her in Budapest? It must be pretty cool to see your own old college teammate strike gold.
Yeah, it's very special. It's very special, and you know, so just, I guess, just like unbelievably proud. I mean, because you know, you see where she comes from and the struggles that she's had to get to this point, and so she's fought through so much adversity to get to the point to where she was in Budapest, to be able to win. And because you know that whenever she's in shape and you know she's on the starting line, then it's very tough to beat her. And you know she's as good as they come. So yeah, to be able to see kind of everything happen the way that it did, and I guess the timing that it did too. It's just it was just perfect.
Did you ever race each other in training?
No, we didn't race each other. No, actually not. But we should have, and we should. Yeah.
Be a good one.
Yeah.
Question to Mutaz. This came in from Il Giornale, which I think is an Italian outlet, and it's no surprise who it's about. Your good friend and rival Gianmarco Tamberi. They ask, what do you think about the possibility of Tamberi being the Italian flag bearer in Paris?
The possibility for that. I mean, of course, very possible. Why not? I mean, he's a great athlete, you know, and he represents his country very well. He's the Olympic champion, so yeah. I think there's a big possibility.
Excellent. And they also ask, compared to 2023, have you changed?
And adjust my trainings, how, when, how much, according to how I feel. But in terms of training, have been the same. The only thing that the past couple of years since my injury, I couldn't do so much of my normal training, which is of course frustrating because there is no shortcut. If you want to make great results, you need to put on the work. But I feel like this year I was able to put a lot of work. I'm still have a lot of work coming that I'm very optimistic about. And to be honest, I'm excited. I'm really, really excited. So as I say, it's Olympic year. I feel like the training is going the way I want it to. So I'm excited. So let's see what this year brings.
And what exactly was the issue that kept you out of indoors, and when were you able to put that behind you?
Yeah, it's no, definitely talk about it. So I had like 2 injuries, one on my back, you know, on my lower back, and then one on my hip, which it's not a big injury, but again, I don't want to risk anything. So anything that bothers me, I feel like I'm a smart athlete now, or smarter. So I don't want to keep doing some mistakes that I've been, you know, doing in the past. So I feel like if something small, is better to take time, treat it, instead of going to compete and they might stretch to something bigger, which require you to stay away 2 or 3 months. I cannot afford that time now. So I'm trying to listen more and more, you know, older, wiser, this kind of stuff.
Not too old yet, don't worry. Any further questions from the floor? I don't see any immediately, so we have just a couple more minutes and then we'll wrap it up. But if I could ask, oh, we have one here. 2 here, in fact.
About this city, and I represent of DCVI. Digital Cloud Valley Information is a big cloud company in China, and I want to ask, with the increasing usage of cloud technology for everyone, especially for the top athletes, in terms of your training videos, your photos, your pictures, your music, cloud services provide us benefits which enhance the management, analyze, and deliver of sports relative services. So what do you think? Which role can the technology of cloud play in the sports industry?
You convinced me. That sounds it's a long. Okay, so you're talking about technology?
Yeah, of cloud.
Of cars?
Cloud.
Ah, the cloud. Okay.
Yes.
Oh, but what is it? Do you do some cloud technology in here?
Yeah. So I'd like to ask, what do you think? Which part can the technology of cloud play in the sports industry, especially in track and field industry?
Okay, I need to understand exactly. So, I'm trying to grab them. No, first of all, let me answer the first part of the question. Like, it's definitely my first time in Xiamen. Not my first time in China. My first time in China was 2010. So, and since then, I've been coming to China every year, at least once or twice. I've been to many places. I can't even remember, like many different cities. And I love China, to be honest. The culture here, like, it's really interesting and nice. So whenever I'm in China, I like to go out and see different things. I like to learn about the history. I like to visit some galleries and etc. And the other part, which is about technology, I don't know if I understand very well, that you have some cloud technology and how can it affect our sport in terms of weather or in terms of?
You can put your training videos, your photos, your music to the cloud.
Oh, now I got you. It's not real cloud. It's like, I got you. You talk about e-cloud. No, it's, I think it's important, to be honest. For us as doing some technical event, it's very important to go out and see, you know, and sometimes you don't have quick access somewhere. So that's what we do, and I guess now with everyone. So wherever you go, you have your access to internet, and you have, you know, whatever you stored, was it the cloud, was it some storage devices, and so I think it's important. And integrating technology in sport itself, it depends to which direction you go in, which direction you follow. Like, for example, me and my training, we are really old school. You know, we use old methods. Nothing is else. So we just like bar, training, track, and sometimes we watch some videos. But I know that a lot of people using technologies, like a lot of cameras, a lot of laptop, a lot of data and assessments. It might be much more useful for them if you follow that direction.
Thank you so much for all your questions. We have to wrap up here now. Mutaz is going to jump in 26 hours, so they have to going soon. We will open the stadium at 4:30 tomorrow. For the journalists, the press center starts at 11, open at 11. The weather forecast for tomorrow looks great, so we really looking forward to invite 23,000 spectators to the stadium to cheer for these big heroes. So then, this is a wrap. Thank you so much for attending, and see you tomorrow. 谢谢。